Man, I don't know about you, but I'm about ready to finish this house.
Right guys, Legos, bricks and toys.
All right, build fans, I'm here with Rascal. Hey, Rascal. Hello. We're gonna finish up this Cayi house. I Every time I hear Cayi Blocks, it's Cayi Blocks Sakura-Lume Book Nook. 1,243 pieces. But all I keep hearing is Caillou, and I'm like, where's the bald kid? And I gotta remind myself that's not what this is. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So we're down to bag 4. We're in roof area. We got one sticker left. That is absolutely it. I can already tell you. So it's not going to be long before after I build this. This is essentially going to get reviewed almost immediately. And the reason why is because having dealt with it for a while, I already understand some of the good. I understand a lot of the bad. And, when I was looking at some of the reviews that people had, they were like, yeah, no, it's hard to put together. There's like things that parts that don't fit correctly or this. And I mean, some of that's fine, but it's their proprietary brick parts. So the parts that they use in order to create the wire areas, kind of like what Luma Bricks has. It's not the best. They're very, very, very tight. A and B, the other part that I have about it that I'm like crashing out is that the way that they have you put the wires on. We got one where we're putting a wire in a wall. The wall moves, so now we have all this extra wire floating around. Inside the bottom floor, there's all these wires floating around the inside. And it's like, why would we not instead have built like the box into the floor or done something just a little bit different? And so for me personally, the only wire that seems to make sense is the outdoor wire for the lamp. That makes total sense to me, but everything else, not so much. So I have a feeling when this gets rebuilt, the light on the wall is going to be going to the other side. The little battery box is going to be going probably more towards a back wall with an open area. Like, there's a lot of small changes that I think need to be made to make this really good. It has potential. Don't get me wrong. It has some amazing potential. I mean, it looks incredible. It looks really nice. And for the most part, there's some areas where it's like some of the clutch is a little weak, and some of the fact that they just put it on a base plate or whatever instead of an actual like plate, or a plate that had anti-studs on the bottom to be milled, that is already a little like, we could do better. But hey, as a guy, if you want my opinion on build stuff, let me know. I'd love to help you out. Okay, so we're in this area. We're going to be building this roof. It's roof in the inside area. Last little bits and pieces. We finally are going to be getting to our minifig. Cherry blossom in the back. I'm okay with the cherry blossom. I'm not like the biggest like cherry blossom connoisseur. Every time I see them, oh, I have to have a cherry blossom piece in my city. Most of those get kind of changed out to something else. Like, that's just kind of the rate that I do things. But to be quite honest, I'm gonna build as is, and then we'll switch it up down the road, right? Okay, so here we go. we're going to be putting a jumper plate, and then it looks like a 1x2 by, is that 2? Yeah, 1x2 by 2 slope. We're going to be building this piece up here. So we're kind of building these kind of interior wall areas that's going to slope up, making 2 of them. Boom. And boom. Put a little slope or wedge at the top. And they're going to be going right here. 1 and 2. And then we got this area where we're going to be putting like a window. So, see if I can fix that, tilt it just a little bit, kind of like that. See if that makes it a little bit easier to see some of what we're doing. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Here. Tilt that down that way. There we go. All right. So, with that, now we are building our wall area, and we're going to be doing some pretty interesting sort of build stuff. Now, they use a lot of these double-sided pieces. So like these have studs on both sides. That's not a normal Lego thing. So it's kind of, this falls on the line of fuego. And I know there's some people that'll be like, oh, fuego, which is terms for fake Lego. But there's still some pretty interesting build stuff you can get with it. There's some techniques here that you could probably definitely use. Alright, so here we go. We got 1, 2. Take this. We're going to pop and pop. I like this idea of this kind of build. So you've got a arch, 1x4 arch with 2 1x2 jumper plates. And you put these 1x1 round tiles with Technic pins or pins on it. And you can make that little U thing. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, so we need 1, 2, and then 1 more of our slopey slope thingies. Is there a slopey slope thingy in here? Let's say, I don't think I already pulled it, did I? I did not. Okay, so let's take this big one right here. We're going to move that and that. There it is, right there. Goes there, and then we need 1, 2 of these. Okay, so I'm just checking. They don't have a size that says 1x2 by 2 or 1x2 by 3. Just 1x2. All right, so we've got essentially a, let me kind of make sure I'm getting where we can see what it is that we're doing. There we go. So we've got this sort of piece here. It is a, it's a turnable plate, but it's in clear. And it looks like we're going to the stud side on the back, and we're putting this reversed sloped tile on there. And then we're going to be putting this in here. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Then we're putting our double studded pieces here. 1 and 2. That'll go right in here. And it is very loose, just to let you know. Just so we are clear. That goes in there. These will go here. Yeah, it is, that's loose. That probably should have had something in there, or there's other ways to build this that I think would have probably been a little bit better. And that'll also probably be rebuilt. All right. So that's going to fit right into there. Okay, I did something wrong because it is not as high as it should be. Did I? Alright, let's do this. We got to dig these out. Yeah, there's some things in this that are just like, what did we do? Okay. So, got this. Okay. Got this. Got that. Put that in there. I mean, all of it. Oh, I forgot the brick. That's why. I was like, obviously, something is not right. And they were absolutely right. I didn't put the brick on there. So there we go. 1 and 2. That'll go right in here. Boom. Just like that. All right. So that part is done. Actually, pretty interesting build technique. I happen to kind of like that. All right. I thought it was my wife. So now we get one direction that's got like 10 million pieces in it all at once. So you know that's my absolute favorite. Nothing says dysregulation like adding everything at once, the last minute, to your thing. All right, here we go. So we've got this piece, this piece. I'm going to have to count them out up here, and the reason why is because there is so much here. But, I mean, it looks like a pretty interesting way of making a bed. I kind of wonder how this is going to look in the long run. If it'll be something that I'll look at and be like, yeah, I would totally rebuild something like this again. Or if I'm going to look at it and go, yeah, no, that was a bit of a waste of time. So, we'll find out here in a minute for sure. Because that is definitely something. Like, I'm always up for learning, new designs, new build ideas, things like that. I'm always down for that. I love learning, like, new things, like new builds and stuff. Oh, absolutely. You give me something where I can learn a new technique and something that I enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to eat that thing for breakfast. I'm going to love it so much. But at the same time, give me something I really don't care about and you want me to learn it. It is like pulling teeth. It takes every ounce of spent operation that I have sometimes to learn some things. I can definitely do it. And as long as there's like no interruptions in the ordeal, like I'm able to do it without a lot of issues, I can do it, I can learn it, I can move on and be fine. But man, it does take quite a bit of extra work on my end to essentially kind of push through learning when I do not enjoy something. And it's, I think we all have some of that aspect about us, but physically it can be downright doing for me. Okay, so we are building this bed, and so what they have us doing is they have us taking let me see if I can pull it in right down here. They have us taking 2 of these. Let's see, we've got a 3x3. We're going to be putting a little L plate there, and then this 1x2 here. Okay. Then, and then another 1x3 up at the top. No, I see. We're doubling it up. Now we're putting a 1x3 here. Oops. This 2x4 is going right down here. And then this 1x3 is going here. Then on the top, we're putting these 2x3s like this. Okay. And push everything down on clutch. It does pull a little bit, and that's some of the clutch on these particular bricks are a little tight, which is kind of upsetting because I mean it'll be fine, but it's like eh. Okay, and then from here we've got this white piece for our pillow. We're going to be putting this rounded 1x1 half round tile. We've got this piece here signifying kind of our covers. Got a tile that goes here. one of these that goes right here on the end, and then this one that's going to fit right to here. Okay. So kind of a nice overall bed sort of look. Kind of a messy bed. And then we're putting this is going, I think, right up there. And that's going to create that sort of turned cover sort of look. A little high in my opinion, but, you know, what can you do? Now, we're going to be building, it's like a little night table stand thing. So we've got a jumper tile, a headlight brick, and then a 1x1 brick with clip. We're going to be putting this on top here. And then we've got our 1x1 round plate with pin. We're putting a bracket plate on there. So it kind of goes like this. And this is going to go right here. Now, we actually have a stud, a light stud that's going to be going on there. So that's going to be a little bit different for us because we already have something changed. You can turn that as is, like this way. So you got the light showing down here. This goes there. And then this is supposed to be like something on the floor for the bottom of the bed, which is a little weird. But that's what we got. All right, so we are going to be stud counting. So let's take this bad boy right here. We're turning back this direction. And then it looks like we're going to be going 4 studs over. And then right here on the bottom of this plate, we're going 1 down. So kind of like right there. Okay, grab my brick. Here, let me use their brick separator. Make it a little more official instead of using my Luma bricks. Don't get me wrong, Luma bricks brick separators are great. Okay, just I feel encouraged to use theirs. All right, so it looks like this is supposed to go right here. So that's pressing in there. This is going right into here. And then this was our little stud piece. And that's supposed to fit onto this. And of course, we rebuilt, we got rid of stuff, and now we have absolutely a humongous amount of wire, and that doesn't actually want to stud in all the way. So that is something to keep in mind. Like, there are aspects of this that's like, I absolutely want to love everything about this, but there's a lot of really weird decisions that have been made. Also, you get up here, and then how do you get over? Because now you have a nightstand shining right down in your face, exactly where you're going to be. Some of this is going to get rebuilt. Just the nature of the project. Okay, now we're going to be coming over here, and we're going to be building this section right here. Let's go ahead and grab all of our parts. We've got, let's see, starting, we've got a cone, a little 1x1 decorative stud here. Let's find it. One by one decorative stud. I've got a pink one. Oh, it is supposed to be pink. That is very, very hard to see as pink. So we got a pink right there. We've got a cone. We've got a 1x1. We do have a wedge. We do have a jumper plate. We will have a, let's see, we got a white 1x2 tile, a gray 1x2 tile. It looks like a tannish or coyote 1x2 tile. We've got this. Let's put them in order so we can make sure we have everything. Boom, boom. We got an inverted bracket, so 1x2 by 1x2 inverted bracket, and it's in white. I figured that would be in the small stuff. But funny enough, I don't see it over here. So it might be over with these. Yeah. There we go. And then a 1x1 brick. There we go. 1x1 brick. A 2x2 jumper plate. Now I've got modifieds and I've got others, but oh, it's actually supposed to be yellow. So this 2x2 yellow jumper plate, which means a yellow 2x2 plate and then a 2x4 brick. And they want us to go brick down with a plate on the end. We're going to go with the coyote and jumper. We're going to go with the 1x2 here. We've got this cone thing that goes together. That's going to go here. I guess it's like a lava lamp. It's a little weird in my opinion. We've got this is going right up here. Now we do have a sticker for this. Now, this should be our absolute last sticker. So this one, the last one we had the there and back again sort of thing. This one has got like the alphabet on it, which I guess works because it's like, hey, we just put some text on there and no one will actually look that close to what's going on. But yeah, that's the ABCDEFG book. It's a spell book of letters. Or you could say, that's my stack of letters. Get it? You're like, yeah, we got it. We didn't want it. Alright, so we've got this one. And then over here, there's this. Now, I'm not sure what this is. Let's build it and we'll kind of see if we can figure out what in the world they're having us make. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Absolutely not sure. Okay, so we're coming back over here. And this is supposed to turn back this direction. And right off of here, we've got this. So, I guess maybe an AC unit. If it was an AC unit, it felt like that should have been an actual 1x2 tile with grill. And then I guess this goes here. There's our book right there. This got some flashing. A lot of the stickers are a little oversized. So it's a little strange. But this is kind of the office area now. So what we got. And now we're building a bookshelf. Now, this one should be actually kind of fun. Alright, I'm going to move some stuff over here. Throw that over there. So, we're going to be going on to this side. So let's come over here to 110. And let's grab all of our parts. We need one of these 1x1 round studs. Now, I'm going to look because I want to make sure, because they're not distinguishing between studs, and I want to make sure I'm not using this, and I don't need one with a Technic pinhole, but it looks like that's pretty much all I have. So, kind of going with that. And we got 1, 2, and 3 of these 1x1 plates in salmon. And then 1, 2 of these 1x1 plates in blue. Periwinkle. And then we've got one of these plates in light blue. And then let's see, we need a 1x1 round brick or cone. No, it's a rounded barrel brick is what I call them. One in light blue. One in this kind of sage green. I can't tell if that's sage or sand green. It actually looks more like a sand green, which sand green's great. Okay. Then we need 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these inverted 1x1 by 1x2 brackets. Then we need 1. Let's find it. I know it's in here somewhere. It might be over in this grouping right here. Let's see. We do need this 1x3, and then we'll need, oh, there it is. A jumper plate, 1x3 jumper plate, and then 2 1x4s. Okay. So there's quite a bit of parts here. Quite a bit of parts. But let's see how they're having us put this together. So we're taking our barrel brick, and we're putting this down on top, just like that. And then we've got these two pieces here. We're going to snap those onto the outside. We're putting this down right here. And then we're stacking. So we've got a stack of pink, light blue, blue, and then another pink or salmon color, right? Press that right here. Let's take this brick and just kind of smooth that out. There we go. That's going to go right next to here. Then we're going to go up another step with another set of inverted brackets. 1 and 2. We'll have a little bit more light there. We can see a little bit more what we're doing. And then we get this sand green goes right here. That's getting a brown piece on top. We're getting one more of these pink. And then one of these are going right there. The 1x3 is going across right here, and then these are going to be going on the side. Actually, pretty interesting and decent way of building a shelf. Not too bad. Not too bad. And it's got some random stuff on it. Like, this would work if you had, like, say, from the CMS series, it had all the animals. Put, like, the fish food there, and you could put, like, a fish bowl somewhere. Like, milk carton or, you know, some sort of, like with the new CMF with the Bionicle, you can put the Bionicle there if you have, you know, like this. I could see some definite benefits to this particular set. Okay, so right up here on this, I'm kind of stud counting because it looks like we're going one back. So one back to here. And I believe we're leaving this space open because, let's turn it around, it goes that way, I believe. Because of the, we still have to build the wall there. So like the little wall piece that goes in there. So, alright. So we're building up more of the wall. Kind of get you out of, you're like in my eyes here, on my face. This one does not have a window. So the window is only going to be on the front end of the house. After that, we do not have a window in the top for the back. So, one point of light for this poor guy that lives up there. And this is like the bedroom area, which is kind of odd in that we got windows all over the place, including the bottom floor that has, it's essentially a garage with a door that is very awkward. So awkward. Like I said, a lot of this absolutely 100% has to be rebuilt because it just, when you get to a point where it's just so, I'll look up what I'll do is I'll look up more of what a Book Nook home or Sakura home is. I think Sakura just means like cherry blossom type, okay? I'll look into that a little bit more because I have a feeling what's going to end up happening is I'm going to do research, and I think for me, I want to look to see what is the point of having some of these specific things the way that they are, and if I change it, will it go against the idea of what this house is actually supposed to be? I don't like the idea of the downstairs being nothing more than this kind of awkward garage. I think that there's a lot more builditude that we could have in there that would make so much more sense. Make the downstairs actually the kitchen and all that. So there's things that I personally think need to be moved. Absolutely moved from one place to another. Sorry, I've got tons of these commercials popping up. Okay, like I said, I'll always link. You know, you can't hear it on the computer, but I'll always link what I'm listening to. So if you're wanting to, hey, what is it you're listening to? I want to give that artist credit because when I work, I do listen to a lot of kind of lo-fi, liminal type music and stuff, like just kind of calming effect stuff. So for me, I'm definitely going to plug them into the description. Today it's again, it's What's Wrong With Me, which is What's Wrong With Me 1X is how you can search it up. Really, really solid stuff. Okay. Now we need our plates. So we need a 4x8. So look, 4, 4, and 4. That's a 4x8, or you can put it right there on. Just put it on your Lego tattoo because everybody's got one, right? So one 4x8. We've got, excuse you, light. It's like right on my head. We need one 1x8 in gray, one 1x8 in light blue. And if you're not sure, because you don't have studs to count here, look on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1. Those go in between each stud. That means that that is a 8. We need one 1x4. We need 2 of these 1x2 inverted wedges, and then one rocker plate right here. So we are putting our plate down. Looks like we've got 1, 2, and hopefully these are going to attach together somehow. And then it looks like we've got one of these here, one of these here on the end, and this plate is going to be going right into here. I'm kind of concerned because I don't see this attached to anything else, but that's supposed to fit right up into there. So that's the roof, kind of right up here. So let's take a look at it right here. So this is the roof area right here. So they're kind of just snapping down to place. We'll probably put something up here to hold this down and possibly remove the sides is probably what they're doing. I figured it would be that would open up, but I'm guessing we're just using the rocker plates to place it, and then we'll be taking the panels off as needed. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay. So 113, we are doing the same thing. So 4x8 with a 1x8, a 1x8, a 1x4, 2 of these inverted slopes, and then another rocker plate. So kind of what we did before, where we're kind of building the same thing, but now we're doing it the opposite direction with 113, which is here. So we got this. This is going this time. This is going directly on the end. So we're not doing exact same as we have with others, but that's okay. 1, 2. This goes right under here. 3. And then this is supposed to go right here on the end, kind of like this. And then that is going to fit right up into here. There we go. So kind of like that. And then that part, I believe, could get removed as needed. We're going to be starting on this portion of stuff right down here. So we do need a 2x16. So let's look. 16, or if you go do the math, so you go 4, 4, 4, and 4. 4 times 4 is 16. You do it that way. And then let's see, we got a big brick here that we're needing. Yeah, we got a 1x6, and then 2 of these inverted plates with Technic pinholes. let's see, 2 and 2. So we've got 2 that are inverted, 2 that are regular. And then it looks like 2 Technic pens, and they're just the straight Technic pens. We have them in gray. Nice, okay. It's weird because their Technic pens are in gray. They're Technic pens with what's called a friction or stop, or I can't remember, it's like torque or something. Those are also in the same color gray, so it's like usually you'll get a different color for those just to distinguish between the two as you're building. They did not do that, and that's gonna have to be okay. So we're gonna put down this plate here. We've got this pin that goes here. This is gonna go upright, and that's gonna fit right in there. So we're making 2 of these sort of like, I guess, like hinges. This other one is going the opposite direction though. Boom. 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 Oh my goodness. And let's see, we need about that much space between them. So the commercials on this particular thing is so bad. It's like every 3 minutes there's a commercial. Even more reason for me to have to go out and do the thing I don't want to do, but had to go out and get a better service. I knew that that's what they were playing at. Alright, I'm going to push that into there. This is supposed to go right up here. Alright, there we go. So it's a tight fit. I'm not going to lie. It is a very tight fit, but it does work. Okay. And I'm not exactly sure where we're going with this. Oh, we're still building to it. So at this point, we need a 1 by 12. 4 on each side. 2, 4. Yeah, 4 by 12. So there. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these 2 by 2 jumper plates. 2. Count them. 2. 1, 2 of these 1 by 3s. And then 2 of these inverted bricks there. What exactly are we doing? Okay. Let's go on right here to this. Boom. Okay. 1 and 2. And then it looks like we're going right down the center of this. Pushing these all on there. Okay. And then this goes. Ooh. I might have to see an ending one of how this goes. Make sure it's all pressed down. Again, a little bit of pull there because of the clutch. It's a little too tight in my opinion. Okay, so that goes there. This is going right here. Now that feels a little loose. See if it does better on this side. Nope. Hopefully we're, nope, doesn't like we're putting anything on top of it. That's, look, that one not so bad. This one over here, yeah, that's gonna break off quite a bit. Not sure I like that. You know what, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Let's see if I can cheat. Okay, so we should have how much of a stud much left? Kind of like that. Okay. Oh, it won't allow me. That's so sad. So sad. Okay. So I was kind of hoping that I could get away with cheating that part off, moving this one down, and then putting that in the center. But we're just going to have one kind of randomly loose piece on the end. That is absolutely going to drive me wild. So we're going from 115 to a new piece. 6 by 10. So 3, 3. And then 5, 5, 6 by 10. Or, like I said, if you got your handy dandy plate calculator here, your plate chart, 6 by 10. Boom. Right there, we have a, let's see, 5, 5, a 1x10. We need 1 1x3, and then 1 1x4 right here. Okay, so this is going to go right down here. We've got 4 going across, 3 right here. And is that it? I mean, for that, yeah. Okay, so 117. Looks like we're building up more of this. So we need 1, 2 of these 1x3s. 1, 2 more of the 1x3s, this time in gray. We need 1, 2 of these 1x4s, and then 1x4s in gray. So the sand blue and gray, sand blue and gray. So we're skipping every other one, just like that. Oh, nope, wrong one. And then 2 over. And then 1 more over here. So it's like every other one. So 2 spaces, but it's like space in between. All right. We have this. And now we are sticking it to this. How does it go? I'm looking to see exactly. I guess we're lining it up. It should fit kind of like that. Hello. Hi. Might not be the best. I'm like, what? How am I supposed to feel about that one? Maybe this is the side that doesn't move too much. I have a feeling this is the side that opens. And it's going to be on the opposite side. Oh, it's going to be so weird. So strange for me. But like I said, build it as is, review it, and then this thing is getting ripped apart and fixed. Because there are some things in this that I'm like, I don't know. I noticed the price for it went up the other day. I was like, what? I went ahead, I put it in my shop. As a matter of fact, if you like this channel and you have subscribed, you should subscribe. Come on, help me out here. I pretty much review and build these things so that way we can you can look and decide on whether you want to take the chance on it or not, because there are some builds out there that are just like And I know there's a few of us that do it. I know Monster Bricks, low budget. We're all buddies. We're all looking at this stuff to find out, hey, what's worth it, what's not. As a matter of fact, I will pin Monster Bricks review page down in the notes, as well as low budget. He's been on a hiatus for a while, so I had to check and see if he's got his stuff back up. But yeah, I'll put their stuff down in the show notes, as well as the link for this piece if you want to get it. I've got a link for it in my Amazon shop on LinkedIn. I get a small commission. Those commissions, man, they really don't make a lot, but they do pay out over time. So if you want to help me out, definitely get something out of the shop. Those little things, they help. And I probably, if I make enough, I might be able to buy a cheap set and review it and not get yelled at because I have spent more money, which happens quite a bit for me. Like I said, it happens quite a bit for me. All right, this guy right here is giving me problems. Do I think this set's got some pretty decent building stuff to it? Yeah, all in all. But there is some stuff I'd say it's not for the beginning entry opus for some of this. I honestly think that you got to have either a little bit of background or you got to have kind of a strong stomach to be like, yeah, okay, well, we can do this. Or do it as, hey, we got plenty of time to learn and build. If you're trying to do it on a weekend, don't do it. It's going to take longer than expected. I know, like, when I did bag 3, I was expecting to get 3 and 4 done. And that did not happen at all. Instead, I was like, hey, I got to stop there. Because at this point now, I'm having to go back and rebuild some stuff. Or, like, figure something out. Because I don't feel like I have enough, like, room for the lights. And that was a big ordeal for me. I was like, that's kind of odd, you know. And so, like, when you get some of those, it's like, yeah, don't expect it to be done in a weekend. That's probably not a like, I would not rush this, because that's quickly a way to make some mistakes. And I've kind of taken my time on this one. We're skipping one. That's where we're putting our satellite dish, isn't it? Yeah. Boom. Boom. And boom. Okay. All right. There we go. And then we're skipping another section because we got another thing. It's like oh my goodness. We called them bunny ears, but an antenna. So an old school TV antenna. Man, obviously whoever built this has got some ties to, like, old school UHF and VHF TV, because that stuff is no longer used whatsoever. I guess people do have antennas. I still have it like a satellite dish on my house. I don't use it. I actually want to take it next time we get our roof done. I'm just gonna take it down when they re-roof everything. And I might look at a digital antenna going up, but most of those these days are indoors. I'd have to look to see how the coax even works in our house, because I'm not even sure. I think it's older coax. I don't even know if that would even carry a digital signal for some of the stuff around here. Alright, so that works, but these are in the wrong spots, so we're going to flip that and that around. Gray, sand blue. It's going to go right here. Alright, now, we're still not putting everything on there yet. Now we're doing some antennas. Now this might be kind of an interesting way of building an antenna. So we'll move this here. And it looks like we need we've got this plate with bar handle on there. We've got a plate with clip. We've got a it's like a bar holder with crossbar. We've got this little crossbar there. We have a dish. Got one dish, and then 1, 2. That one might not be it. I think they're all the same color, and it's this kind of weird gray, which I figured they'd done like silver or gray or something for this, but yeah, it's a little strange in my opinion. A little strange. And then we have it's like a 1x1 round plate with pin. And I'm kind of looking to see if I could find, there it is, and that's in gray. Okay, so we have that in gray, which means that our other 1x1 is also in gray. I was going to say gray or clear. They're not very distinct on this. As a matter of fact, I have been finishing up the work for my own Lego set. I say Lego set, but I mean it's like building block set. I should have those directions up here pretty soon. I'm getting it copywritten and getting all the legalese portions of it done right now, so that's taking a little bit of time. And then I was going to print out a copy of it probably by like Monday. Take a look because I want to make sure that everything makes sense before I submit it out to everybody to purchase and do whatever. But yes, I have been working on a really cool set. So I'll have that up, and I'll figure out where that's going to go, where I'm going to sell it. So that way, if you want to help out the channel, purchase one of those pieces. I priced it so if you got the parts on Bricklink, I think the parts would only cost you like $47. 255 pieces. I was trying to be very conscious of it to make sure that we were not blowing a ton of money and getting some really random parts that you're not going to be able to find anywhere. I was trying to make it as clean of a bill of sale as possible for parts. Okay, so that's going to be a tough. The clutch power on these are just not quite where you want it. Let's do this. 1, 2. This right here, there would be an easier way to build this, to be quite honest, especially because this part right here doesn't want to snap in all the way. So let's do this. We're going to take this and let's see if we have a different one. Use a little bit different pin here. Let's see if that makes things just a little bit easier. Okay, so that will go right there. Push both of these back down. Let's try this again. Okay, so we'll push that one down here. And oddly enough, that leaves a gigantic gap. It does not line up with everything. That is not very good. I understand, like, again, I understand what they're going for. I understand, like, what they're thinking build-wise. Oh, we'll have it to where you can open this up and do all this wonderful stuff. But when you have bricks that have clutch issues, as it is, so let's say, starting off, you got bricks that have clutch issues. So that's the first thing. And then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to use okay, so we'll flip that way. Yeah, it just doesn't line up the way we'd want it to. It's just a little awkward. I believe I've got some other plates. I would end up rebuilding this portion. A, I'm not too keen on this gap. And B, this now pushes down further. Anytime you want to open it, you're going to have to be very ginger with it. But then look here. In order to even get in there, you're like having to really get down into it to see. Hopefully the other wall is actually removable. That would be the smart thing to do. If everything on this side of the build opens, right, even with the wires, which you know how I'm feeling about some of this, but even with the wires, if we have this, and that's the build, get in there, then this should open out. Which, I see we have hinges here, but I think it's just going to open up. Little awkward, in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't see this one sticking. Like, I don't see a lot of this part of the build staying as is for a while. So we do have a 8x16. So that is our newest gigantic part. Now my thing here only goes to 6, 16, but obvi 8. And then we need a 2x8, 4, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these 1x8 grays. 5 of them in the sand blue. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our 1x2 inverted slopes. 1, 2 of our rocker plates. Rocking around the building bricks. And then 1, 2 2x4s, and it looks like a 2x4. Or 1x4 bricks, a 2x4 plate, and then, yeah, we're moving on. Okay, so in order to get the length that we want, we are going to be putting this plate here. Now, this is supposed to go right here, and then this is supposed to fit right in between. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to place that part down, just like that. Lord, the commercials, guys. Okay, and then we've got these. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put these rocker plates on. One, this one's going to go right over here too. And then we'll go ahead and put these bricked pieces on here as well. With something like this, where you've got one plate holding it from the back, it would make sense to have something going across here on the top. I could easily see this roof like redoing some of this with the black jumper plates or modified plates and then running like lines along it. I might not be keeping a gray roof for some of this just because there's parts of it's like it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as strong as I think they're thinking it's supposed to be. I've got some tiles that are fitting super tight, and I've got some that are, you know, not tight enough. And I think it depends on where you're going. Some of them, when you're trying to clutch from the bottom up, you need them tighter, but they are, you know, kind of loose. And then these that you don't need them so tight, you're going to be taking a pry bar to this later in order to get it to do what it needs to do. Oy. Like right here, that'd have been a good place to have something go across there. Yep. Or at least go, I don't know, like a 2x6, something that feels more substantial, or even like a 4x4, 4x6, something that goes out. That would have given it a little more oomph and made it a little bit easier to build up. So we're going to take this one right here. We're going to fit. Of course, we can't see what we're doing. We're going to fit them to there. Okay, so that's the roof. So if we want to open that, as far as you go. So we open on this side. We're over here. If we want to get in here, we're going to be open this goofy thing here. I am definitely not sold on that. That to me, that has to be a rebuild. Like, that absolutely has to be a rebuild. Okay, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna build a park bench. So that's what we're working on now. Close and close. There we go. So we've got pieces for our park bench. Let's take a look. We got park bench, a tree, our minifigs, and that's pretty much it right there. Bicycle, yeah, some stuff. All right, so let's take a look. 1, 2, and then 1 and 2. I need another one of these rounds. Okay. 2, 2, 2. 3 of these modified 2x2 plates. 1, 2 of these barred plates there. Kind of making sure we can see what we're doing. We've got 1, 2 of these foliage pieces, a 2x4, another 2x4 in brown, and then a 2x6. So they have us doing where we're taking the tile, putting this here, and then a plate on the end, so kind of like this. Then we're going with the hinge on top. It's kind of interesting way of building it so far. This is going to fit onto here, looks like. So it's going to create like some foliage design for the back of the bench, which would be kind of cool. So we need to build 2 of these. So one going one way, one going the opposite way. It goes here. And then this is going to go right here. Okay. So like I said, we've got 2 distinct pieces here. Now we've got... I did miss a couple of these. 1, 2 of these plates here. Alright, how are we doing this? So this is supposed to fit off the back. So we're going to fit 1, 2... Oh my goodness, that's not wanting to fit. 2, 3, and then we'll fit 1 here. And then 1 going right here. The pins off to the back. Okay. Then right here we've got the back of the bench, so our 2x6, 2x4 here, 1x2, 1x2, and that's going to fit right to the back of here. And this is our bench. Kind of interesting. Honestly, I felt like this probably should have turned up and gone out this way as like a armrest. This feels a little awkward, but I mean, it still works. It still works. Okay, so that's gonna be going right down over here on these particular studs right here. So we're gonna pop them 1 and 2. Kind of move that back a little bit, or I guess I can move it all the way up. That's our park bench. And now we are building our minifig. So let's kind of back it up a little bit, like right here. And then we'll grab all of our minifig parts. Okay, so these are interesting minifigs because look, they've got some sort of weird... Lord, the ads, guys. The ads. They've got these, like, weird sort of pin-looking things in there. Not exactly sure why. But I guess maybe that holds on to feet or legs. Or the head. Okay, well. But yeah, they remind me a little bit more of the Dollar Tree type body types. But almost with slough-on heads. Kind of interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab all of our parts. Our bodies, hands, legs, torsos, and it looks like everything is a build. So let's grab all of our parts. We'll check here in a minute, see if we got it all. I know I'm still missing some hands and some more arms. Another arm there. I think it's light blue is yeah, other body. It's like light blue. Okay. So these are going to be articulated figures. So let's go ahead and start with her. Okay. So she has these arms. There is distinguishing between the 2 arms. One looks like that one's going to go on this side. So it's going to pop off like that. So it does rotate a little bit. It's not universal. One side to the other. Then she's got some hands. Let's take a look. It looks like the hand can go either way. I'll pop that on. That is a tight hand. So 1, 2. I should have one more hand in there. Yeah, I've got a few. So they did send us extra hands, which is perfect. And then we're going to give her her hair. Pretty nice detailed hair. I could see that being used for something else. As a matter of fact, can we use this with another standard? It's not a Lego. This is an off-brand Lego, but yeah, that'll work. You can use it. Yes, we're going to pop that on. Now she gets blue legs. So we have the standard torso. Now this is where, so you remember that bar that's in there, that thing? We have to line this up with the bar. So if it's not completely turned, you're going to have to turn it. And then that head will move. But that's the bar for the middle of the body. Kind of like how the Slubon has a bar that goes down the torso. It's kind of similar. Not exact, but similar. Alright, then we have one leg that's going on here. And you're like, wait a second, Tay. I noticed that there's some missing parts of the leg. Yes, there is. We're gonna look at that. We have these portions that pop on. So 1 and 2. And she has movable knees. What? Alright, quick. Let me grab a minifig. Let's grab our soccer guy here. Let's take a look. She will be a little bit taller. Yeah, she was a baller. You know what? If you had your number, you could have called her, but you didn't, soccer man. You're too busy playing the game. For the love of the game. Alright, so we got one here. We're going to go ahead and do the next one right here. It's this guy here with the glasses. Who's reading Lord of the Rings in this set? You might say the guy with the glasses. You're wrong, they both are. Everybody could love Lord of the Rings. I don't know what in the world you're thinking. Absolutely wrong for that one. Wrong. Matter of fact, I was. It's gotten like it'll get to where like I read and I kind of start getting sleepy because I'm task focused on one thing and then I just fall asleep, which is so sad because I really want to go back into reading the entire saga. It's been a while, but for those if you've ever read it, it's a great story. But it's also, if you have my neurodevelopmental condition or even ADHD, it can be a tough focus. I found for me, especially when I'm like reading the Bible, I'll read the Bible, and then I will, like if I read it on my app, I'll have it read, or I'll read along as the app reads it, and I feel like that's helped me. I can read, don't get me wrong, I can read, it's just, I feel like it helps me stay on pace and keep me where I need to be. Alright, so we got our 2 minifigs here. They're going to go right over here on this park bench. But you know what? I'm going to see if... I guess they're just sitting here. It's weird because we got these 2 figures that have this really cool build technique where they could have their knees turned and yet they're not. So they don't really sit on that bench very well. I guess if we push that back, maybe? Yeah, okay, so not the best idea for them. I would say this. So we'll put the bench right back here. We'll kind of try to place them like they're sitting there. Like, I like the idea of the articulated knees. It does feel a little bit goofy in this because they can't really sit on the bench. I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this piece down here. That's going to be for our bicycle. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our bicycle. We're going to get that part done and we're moving on. Okie dokie. So we've got 2 wheels. The wheels are not built in. They're like old school Lego. You got to put them on there. Line them up. If they want to line up. Oh man, that's not a good sign. Do I have other bikes? Yeah. If this bike doesn't work out, could I use this for what I feel is like a bike junk pile? Most definitely. I could always have what I call the trash end of the city. Be quite honest, like, Lego obviously makes really good bikes. The bikes that you get with Luma bricks, those are pretty solid too. Quite surprised. The bikes from, was it Brick Loot? They're pretty solid. They are pretty solid. Good stuff. Alright. This one don't feel right. Look, the wheel portion came off already. Alright, and then this is supposed to fit right down into here. Does it stay? Kind of. We'll go with it from there. Why didn't we stud it on the bottom? Don't know. But that's just what we're doing, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to start building our pole or light post outside. So we need 1 orange, 1 of these brown ones, 2 of these pins. They're just regular pins. See, this is where having that different color would probably, absolutely probably, really pay off to make sure that everything looks just a tad bit different. So we need 1 white, another orange, a friction pin, and then a regular pin. So we got white, or wait, no, sorry, orange, pin, white, friction pin. Then we get our first Technic post. Which is a very, very, very tight fit. Another one of these Technic post pieces, friction pin, and then back to this and press it all together just like that. I keep dropping stuff over here, just kind of sad. And then I'm trying to see, we're going up. How are we doing this? We've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, another friction pin. And then this time we're going with the Coyote Brown Technic sleeve that's going here. Then this is going up on top. And then another. Oh no, this time just a regular Technic bar. Do we have one? We do have one. Looky there in the powers that be. And then another Technic piece up. Kind of convoluted for a post, but at the same time it seems to have some pretty decent look about it, so I'm actually not complaining too much. I just want to make sure it's sturdy. Getting sturdy, man. Alright, now we're moving over to this side over here where we have looks like one of these plates, one of these Technic bar pieces, a long pin. Yeah, a long pin and bar, and then one of these right here. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see all that, but so we're putting this pin piece here in the top. It's got a double tall friction piece here. And this is going to be going right onto here. One side is open. And that's going to fit right onto here. I don't like that being so loose though. But like that should be changed somehow and go from pin to pin. This is going to fit onto here. That's going to hold the light. So the light that's pinned on the outside of the house is going to go there. But I'm not going to fit that one just yet, just because of the fact that like we want to get the rest of it built, put it in, and then run the light over. All right. So we need 1, 2, nope, 2, 3, 4 of these pieces here. 1, 2 of these plates with clips. Inverted tile. A 2x2 round jumper, and then our textured 2x2 round brick. And so we're now building a oh my goodness, what are they called? A not a capacitor, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting all of my electrical studies. It's a, oh man, it's not a capacitor. It's when you blow a circuit. I don't know, I can't remember. But basically they're the big things out there that, they help regulate electricity, push to the line, that sort of thing. That's what we're building. That thing. There you go. And then we're going to be building this. Now this technique, as far as like building like a coil here, is pretty sharp. I actually absolutely dig this. This is pretty cool. Boom, boom, boom. That's going to fit right onto here. Boom, just like that. And then, that I don't like. But what can you do about it? So here's what we're going to do for this. Because this is dealing with a light, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take this, flip it on. So that way we have our little light. And we're going to put this onto here. We're going to go ahead and fit it to there. And this is supposed to go and attach to here. Well, looks like we got some clutch issues. There we go. Alright, that's going to pop in right there. And we've got a lot of extra line here. Like, a lot of extra line. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea quite a bit. But, like, thinking about this line is way too low for this. We honestly, like, that would be a... That needs to probably come out of that just a little bit. See if I can fit it onto there. Kind of fit that like that. So it's like it's coming out of the actual line. I wrapped it up just so it feels a little bit more like it's supposed to, and not... Oh. Here, we're just going to wrap it on this. Because if it's supposed to come out, a transformer, and not the kind that meets the eye. I know if Jeff is watching this, it's immediately where his brain's gonna go. No, that white thing over there, that's a transformer. Transforms your power. Okay, that'll kind of work for right now. I'm gonna kind of go with that, honestly. All right, we're down to our last little bits and bobs. Last few pieces we're going to be building. I'm going to turn this off right now. I mean, again, I got to use tweezers to get in there and turn everything off. We're building our tree. That's our very last thing. is our tree. So it looks like we need 1, 2, nope, 2 of these round plates. We need 1 of these little horns. We need a 1x1 tile. It's in here somewhere. No, it's 1, 2 of these 1x1 plates. 1, 2 of these 1x1x1x1 brackets. 1, 2 of these slopes, and 1 of these dinosaur tails. Let's see what we're doing. Alright, so it looks like we've got this plate here. We're going to be, or this slope here, we're putting this on the bottom plate. We've got this tile, it's going right up on top. Okay, and then on the other side, we've got this bad boy with a plate going underneath. We've got this bracket going on top. This bracket going out. And then 1 and 2 of these. So this one is supposed to fit onto here. So it's kind of like a weird, like little root. This one's going to go out like this. And there is flashing on some of this, which is not ideal. I found this, but I don't think it actually goes to that. I think I just put it there because I wasn't sure what it was. So I'm holding on to it for right now because it's like it's the same color. I thought it might match, but it's not exactly matching. Alright, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 out. I think that one goes here. Yep. This one looks like it's going to be going up 1 right here. So kind of like that. Or no. No. That's in the wrong spot, it looks like. Looks like I added 1. Alright, I'll just move that over there. Looks like this is going... Wait, what did I do? What did I do? Goes like this. Okay, this is supposed to go out this way. Kind of odd. Weird, but, you know, it is. 1, 2 of these little 1x1s. So I'll kind of move them there. We got 1 of these little tooths. A slope, a 1x1 tiled slope. 2 of these 1x1 tiled slopes. Another bracket. A 1x2. 1 of these foliage pieces. And then 1, 2 of these slope pieces there. Let's kind of see what we are supposed to be doing with it. So we got 1 and 2. Boom. Boom. Turning it around this way. I keep missing on this. I'm like trying to make sure I'm where I need to be, but this is going to go here. And then we're going to put this here. That's going to go there. Got 1, 2. That goes up on top. And then this last wedge, I believe, goes out wherever this part of the build is. Which is kind of interesting because there's going to be a huge gap where we're placing the tree, I'm guessing. So that'll go right in here. I dropped it. Boom. Okay. So that's going to go like that. A little awkward, in my opinion. Very awkward. But it is. We'll get there. Alright. And then last little bit of tree. So this is going to be coming up and building out. So we need to find all of these last little bits of parts. This was I'm trying to remember, this was an AC that went with this, but I'm not sure where it went, so there's some stuff I'm gonna obviously have to go back, find directions, and figure out where did this go, where did this go, where did this go, because I feel like there's pieces that might have fallen off during certain times, and now I'm not exactly sure what happened to them. Which happens. It's not something that you necessarily want to admit to, but it does happen. Absolutely. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3. That goes to here. And then 1 and 2 goes right under here. Let's do this. Let's take that. I'm going to flatten that down. I'm going to flatten this down too. Fit that there. This should be fitting right up into here. Kind of a very awkward geometric shape at this point. But, alright, so we're putting a Travis brick. So we got our Travis brick going right here. And then we've got one of these slopes that's going here. Alright. And then we need one of these large quarter round pieces, a plated slope, another one of these little hook things, one of these. What are we doing? Alright, so we've got, this is going here. So we've got a plate with a bar. And then another plate. This is going to be going over the top. So kind of like this. This is rooting out of the center and going up. I've never thought to use these as little roots. That's actually kind of cool. If I get anything out of this, I'm definitely saying that that's it's kind of a cool technique. Putting a plate on there or a little tile as a bit of reference for the tree. Okay. Now we need another says we want one of these, a little flower, thing of berries. And how do they want us to do this? So we're going to put a 3x5 leaf with a little pink cherries and a flower on there. That's fitting to this side right here. Okay, this is going to fit up to here, so kind of like the other side. And then this is supposed to go... I gotta look, see how far up that's going. Is it right to here? I think. No, it goes up even further. Right to there. Alright. And now we're coming down here. We need a 6x5. One leaf, one bar, 2 cherries, and 3 of our little 1x1 flower studs. Okay, and I'm looking right here. So there's quite a bit right here. So we've got our pink leaf, 1 cherry going off on the end over here, little flower going right here, another flower going on the end here. I can't even get to the ad. That's starting to drive me crazy. Goes there. This one is supposed to go right here. Okay, and then the bar itself is going up through here. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. And then this is going right here on the back. Kind of like that. Okay. It's not bad. It's not, I mean, if I could see what I'm doing, hey. Look, that's not too bad, except that's not wanting to clutch down. It says it's supposed to line up with this one, but that's just, I don't know, that's awkward. Very, very awkward. That might be moved. Might be moved. So we got one of these 3x5s, 1x1 rounded stud with leaf, tri-leaf, and then another pin. We're making more leaves. I was picking on a tree and it asked me to leave me alone. It's late, by the way. It's late. I have lost my mind. I think I have used up every ounce of... Oh, yeah, because now I didn't want you to stay on there. Stay on there, please. I think we're going this way. Like I said, I think I've used every ounce of regulation I got left in my body for this. Alright, that goes there. Now we got our last big leaf. Now we're kind of in the last little bits and pieces, bobs, etc. We got a 6x5, another leaf, 2 of these blossoms, 2 of these cherries, another bar. Bunch of random pieces left over, including this blue. I don't even know what that's from. I'd have to go back to the instructions, to be quite honest, to look. I'm actually not... That might not even belong to this set. And I was going through bins. I was trying to get things put away. I dropped some pieces at some point, including parts from this set. So everything that I've put together here, you know, I've put together with what I've had, but I think I might have added some pieces here and there and was not exactly sure. So yeah, didn't add it into the set, just into the bin, because I'm kind of wondering about that particular piece. Okay, so that's the tree. That's a little anemic in my opinion. It reminds me, like, the bamboo tree on the bamboo house was also just a little, like, I love, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Lume Bricks. That's one of my favorite companies. But I remember looking at that tree and was like, that's a little awkward. It's not a very powerful tree at all. Alright, so that's supposed to fit to here. This is supposed to fit to there. That doesn't feel very secure in my opinion. Oh. Yeah. Not exactly the biggest fan of that part. Alright. Technically, this is an extra. And yeah, all done. So we'll kind of look at it right here. Let's plug this up over here. I'm just kind of tilting through real quick just to see if I have a piece that was a blue a blue was it a blue stinkamajig, oh my goodness, trauma team, I need some help. Oh, I need to review the oh my goodness, my Lume Bricks Cyberpunk set. I got the what is it, the brand new urban police van thing, which was pretty cool. Alright, so let's see. I am looking through just to make sure I did not have a blue piece set here. I have no idea what that's from. I'm wondering, that might actually be from the Mold King set, because I know I was redoing some things as well. I just want to make sure it's not from this. Because then it's like, well, wait a second, did I put it in the right spot? No. Yeah, I don't even know what that one's from. So, yeah, let's just take a look at this one, and then, like I said, give me a few days. I always take a little bit of time and review it. You know, find out good, the bad. Really good way to check to see for like building stuff is really honestly go to the actual builds, watch some of the builds, because that'll indicate a lot of how the set puts together. Because for us, a big thing is not just the set, it's the way it's put together, which could either make or break a set. This one's okay. It's okay. Definitely some needs in some areas to rebuild some things. There's some pretty interesting techniques in this that I'll definitely utilize, and there's definitely some parts in this I will definitely utilize. Not too keen on this. That'll probably go. Might put something over here in this door frame area because I don't like that gap there. Probably move the box. Like I said, there's some stuff in this that I think just works beautifully. And I could almost see this working with I have another house that is it is like a Japanese style house. I could see these fitting together or near one another really well. But there's obviously some changes that need to occur. Not too keen on the roof. I'd like to change that up. Change the ability to pull this off to get in. I'd much rather be able to come from one side and open up the sides, because to me that's the way that that's supposed to be. Also, this door, these unsightly wires, we should not be dealing with wires once the build is done, unless it's like the outside light here. Everything else needs to be kind of hidden away. So for me, I'd like to move that light somewhere else. Honestly, I'd like to change the build aspect of even this, putting the kitchen downstairs, living room stuff in here, like just change some of the vibe of it so it also feels a little bit more like a house. I'm fine with having the ladder system. Ladder system I think works great in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and just take that off right there. Take both of them off just like that. As far as like this aspect of the inside of here, like I like kind of what we're getting as an attic space. Probably remove the bed, put the bed down if that's going to be like a bedroom sort of thing. Like there's stuff in there that I think worked really well. Like that bookcase was excellent. But there's obviously some need for some rebuild here and there that's going to make things just a little bit better, I think, overall. This, with having that pull up, we probably should have had it where it pulled out this way. Kind of hard to get in there to do anything for that. It looks nice and it looks the part, but it just, I don't know. Could have been, in my opinion, a little bit better. I'd find a way to rebuild quite a bit of this. I like these lines, but they're just a little too loose for me. This, I'd like to have seen something on this that would have captured that black line of this a little bit better. So I might look at something that I could wrap on there or put on there that would also help signify, hey, this is the same sort of line as this. There's some things that are really, really nice, and there's some things that are just, they're kind of afterthoughts. Like this whole back piece this is a little bit stronger because you have tiles up here. This back here is all loose. This makes no sense. No distinguishing factors in the plants, no change of color. So, like I said, it's built, let me review it. Let me give you the good, the bad, ugly, all that stuff. I'll have it up probably by the end of this week. And yeah, I still think if you're getting it for a good price, still very much worth it. It's a lot of pieces for cheap. But just be in mind that if you're getting it, you're going to have some struggles. There's some things you're going to be doing some rebuilds. It can be fun, but it also can be very frustrating. That's something that you need to know as you go into this. Listen, that's all I got. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications to be alerted. If anything comes from me to you, like this video, it helps YouTube know that you're liking what I'm making. Comment. I love chatting with you all. So, if you got something you got to say about this, let me know. Listen, if you're wanting to help out the channel, you do want to get this. Like, hey, I really want to get this. I think it's kind of cool. Got the link down there. My affiliate link. It's in the shop. Definitely get it there. I get a small commission. Those commissions, they add up over time. It really helps out the channel. You have no idea. So definitely get out of the affiliate link. Other than that, I'm going to kind of end it on there. I'll review it. I'll get some more videos up this week. Make sure that we're getting everything we need. Listen, helping out the channel, all the stuff that you do, coming to visit, coming to watch this, sharing this with other people. Hopefully this stuff is reaching you and helping us do the thing we want to do, which is become better budgeted brick builders, because obviously our hobby takes a lot of money. Definitely give both Monster Bricks a shout. Give Low Budget a shout. I'm going to put their links down there as well. You can definitely help me out by going and letting them know, and let them know I sent you over. I love their channels, so definitely go check them out. And hey, we're all in this together, right? So listen, I love you all. Oh, let me do my thing here. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build. Happy brick hunting.